Another Kikuyu figure whose story connects the medicine tradition to real power is Karuri Wagakure. Born around 1840 in Gathigio in Murang'a County, he was not from a medicine family, but he bought his first herbs from experienced healers for 30 gods, apprenticed himself to the tradition, and became so skilled in Githitu, war medicine, that Kikuyu warriors from across Murang'a sought his blessings before battle. He carried the medicine into battle himself. The warriors believed his presence and his medicine were the reason they won. He became Mudhamaki Wambara, the War King of Murang'a. He defeated the Maasai warriors who had crossed from the Nyandarua ranges. He conquered rival chiefs. He became wealthy and powerful through medicine. His story tells us something important. In Kikuyu society, spiritual power and political power were not separate. The man who could connect the warriors to Ngai, who could invoke the protection of the ancestors before battle, held real authority that no chief could ignore. To understand Kikuyu spiritual power fully, you need to understand the moral system underneath it. The Kikuyu believed that the universe operated according to strict principles, and that violations of those principles had automatic spiritual consequences, not as punishment from a distant god, but as a mechanical result of breaking the natural order. And there was one source of curse that the Kikuyu feared above all others: the curse of the mother. When a Kikuyu mother cursed a child in genuine anguish from a place of deep hurt, the Kikuyu believed that curse carried a power unlike any other. The love that had been violated made the energy of the curse almost impossible to revoke. Elders, Andu Ago, and ritual specialists would be required to perform elaborate cleansing before the curse could be undone. And unlike Western curses, which are dismissed as folklore, the Kikuyu system had built-in mechanism for resolution. Kirumi could be evoked. The Mugo could facilitate the process. The key condition was that the one who had been cursed genuinely changed, genuinely acknowledged the wrong, and sought healing. The system was not only about punishment, it was about repair. In 1909, the British colonial government passed the Witchcraft Ordinance, criminalizing traditional spiritual practices across Kenya. The Anjiru healers, the Andu Ago, the medicine ceremonies, all officially illegal. Missionaries told Kikuyu converts that the Ngomi were devils, that the Mugumo tree was a pagan idol, that Ngai and the Christian God were incompatible. Some converts believed them, many did not, or only partially did. The famous anthropologist and Kenya's own first president, Jomo Kenyatta, wrote his doctoral thesis at the London School of Economics about traditional Kikuyu society. The book, Facing Mount Kenya, published in 1938 is still one of the most authoritative accounts of Kikuyu traditional life. Kenyatta was himself a product of the mission school, and he still spent years documenting this world because he knew it was worth saving. Today, the Anjiru clan still carries its identity as healers. The Mugumo tree is still the holiest plant in Kikuyu cosmology. In March 1997, during a devastating drought that set Mount Kenya's usually fire-resistant forest ablaze, Kikuyu elders gathered and performed a traditional rain ceremony addressed to God. The photographs exist. It was not staged for tourists. It happened because the drought was real and the need was real. And when it rained, they said thank you to the mountain. Mugo wa Kibiru predicted the railway with an accuracy that still baffles historians. He predicted the exact duration of colonial rule, 68 years. He tied a prophecy to a specific tree that fell on the exact day independence was declared. The British built an iron ring around that tree. The only thing that iron ring did was confirm that they took the prophecy seriously. Think about what it means that Kenya's largest community, the community that has produced our presidents, our Nobel laureates, our most celebrated authors, carries this in their ancestral memory, a tradition of prophecy, of healing, of sacred landscape, of moral consequences, of ancestral communication, a tradition that survived decades of colonial suppression, missionary erasure, and the wholesale of transmission of Kikuyu society. The Andu Ago knew something, and some of what they knew, like Mugo wa Kibiru's predictions, nobody has ever adequately explained. Kirinyaga, the mountain of light, it was here before any of us, and the Kikuyu understanding of it, that it is a living presence, a throne, a watching eye, is perhaps the most honest description of Mount Kenya that has ever been given. Till we meet in the next episode, subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you next time.